Perfect. I think we're ready to start. So whoever just joined, welcome. This is Federica. I'm part of the Doc City team, and it's my pleasure to welcoming you into this live webinar of the emlyon Business School. Today we will be talking about the luxury industry and present the emlyon Luxury Management and Marketing Master Program. And it's my pleasure to now leave the floor to Florence.
Thank you very much, Federica. It's a real pleasure for us to be with you today, and thank you for joining. We really appreciate your time. My name is Florence. I am actually coming from the luxury industry. I was a graduate from emlyon a very long time ago, but then I had a career in very big corporate organizations, more than 30 years consecutive. And I would say that related to luxury, I was the development director for Parfum Christian Dior for 8 years. Then I became the president of Tiffany & Co. for Europe, Middle East, India, and Africa, where I stayed 4 years. And then I became the chief marketing officer of a private bank called Julius Baer in Switzerland, which is one of the top 10 biggest private banks of the world. Then I decided to come back to emlyon and to accompany the Master of Luxury Management and Marketing, because I think it's very interesting for me now to transmit my experience and share it with the newcomers and the future leaders of the industry. What I suggest as a first step before we enter into your questions would be in 10 minutes or whatever, to share with you the current context of the luxury industry, which of course has been impacted by COVID, but you will see that it is also offering tremendous opportunities and new approach for this market. So maybe if Federica can show us the first page, thank you. So of course, everybody knows that luxury can be defined by multiple terms. So of course, it is heritage, no doubt, exclusivity in all kinds of service and luxury. It is, of course, quality. It is emotion. It is hedonism. It is authenticity, modernity, and also, of course, global brands, but it can also be very small and confidential brands. So that's something which is defining more or less luxury. And all these elements should be considered as a whole if you really want to be luxury. You need to combine all these in order to become really a luxury experience. And that's also why it is so interesting and so complex to accompany a luxury brand moving forward. Maybe, Federica, thank you. So of course, as all of you have lived it and we are still into it, COVID-19 has hit this market. And I got yesterday some information from Bain & Company, which is a very famous consulting agency, very much specialized in the luxury business. And they showed that the COVID-19 in the recent past 12 months was impacted, and the market fell by 23% if you consider the personal luxury good market. And of course, it was $281 billion euros in 19, and it became 217 billion, which still is, as you can see, a very big size of market, extremely important part of the industry, at least for the European industry. Federica, if we can move to the next page, thank you. So what happened is very interesting in this industry. When you look at the downfall of 23%, there is still something that you need to consider. Despite the downturn, online luxury shopping soared, and digital doubled its share of the market to 23% in 2020, which was previously a 12% in 19, which means that there is a sort of digital revolution taking place in the luxury industry. And no doubt that this revolution has been accelerated by COVID, and it's not gonna end at the end of this year. As you can see, when you look at Bain, they really consider that 30%, even more, of the sales of personal luxury goods will probably be via digital in the coming 5 years. So this is a real revolution when you see that in 2015, which is not so long ago, it was only 7%. So there is a move, and this is gonna be a sort of great opportunity to make the luxury market a new model in the coming years. Federica, if we can. Thank you. So when you expect 30% by 2025, you can see that in billions of euros, you reach 100 billion of euros in the 2025 forecast of a luxury market that Bain has established that will be sold via online. If you remember, 10 years ago, it was not conceivable for a luxury company selling shoes, handbags, garments to sell outside the great store experience. That means that the industry will have to redefine what luxury experience means when it comes to digital. And that's a tremendous revolution. And I am sure that the future executives of the luxury business will be the one to define what is a luxurious online experience. And that's a tremendous move for an industry that could definitely, and you can trust me, I've been working there for 20 years, it was not conceivable. So I think this COVID has had a strong impact on the mental approach of clients and brands. Can we move one page later? Thank you. What happens also is extremely interesting. China is the only region globally that this year has seen an increase in sales, and the increase was more than 45% growth, which now means that 44 billion euros of sales are going through mainland China. China is a very important aspect of the luxury market, no doubt. And when you see the evolution of sales in the rest of the world, you see that definitely they are moving up while the rest of the regions are moving down. So for example, Japan is decreasing by 24%. Americas are decreasing by 27%, Asia by 35%, Europe by 36%, and the rest of the world 21%. So you see that the importance of China, which was already extremely critical, is now a very, very powerful element. And if we move to the next chart, thank you, you can see that the market value of China is becoming the nearly #1 market in the world. And if you look at all the others, so of course, Asia is 62, the rest of the world 57, but China is definitely in the future the #1 region for luxury. So that's also something which was already very clear, but the acceleration of this trend is absolutely massive considering the COVID crisis. One page later, thank you. So what is happening? Very positive, I would say. Bain & Company is expecting the recovery to gather pace over the next 3 years, with the market returning to 2019 levels by the end of 2022, which is just next year, or early 23. And if you look at the market value in billions of euros, you can see that it's expected around 23 and above to reach 320 billion possibly of market value, which means that this market is extremely resilient, is extremely in need of talent, is in need of people who understand the future, who understand the expectations of new clients. It is absolutely clear that clients will be the generation Z and the generation Y, which represent the 2/3 of global purchase moving forward. Chinese consumers will become a dominating nationality for luxury. We expect it to be approximately 45% of the global market just for China. Mainland China is gonna be on path to become the biggest luxury market. Online is set to become the leading channel for luxury purchase, with, of course, a strong contribution coming from Gen Y and Gen Z. So I think that definitely this industry is gonna have a need for creative excellence, and there will be a need for talents to redesign what is a real customer experience moving forward. What do you design? What are the new tools? What is the new marketing approach? How do you define luxury in this new environment? Having also in mind that sustainability and inclusion are two very strong elements that need to be considered also in the mindset of consumers. So for me, luxury is a fantastic opportunity for people that are showing ambition, interest in luxury, and passion for being creative and moving change above, you know, all the good old habits that will be gone. Federica, yeah. So that's exactly what I was saying in terms of consequences. Industry post-COVID will need purpose and dynamism to design their strategy. So all the people that recognize themselves into it will be welcome, because with a growth of 10% per year after recovery, you can imagine that there will be a need for talents. The industry will be fully transformed in 2030. And when you reach 320 billion, you imagine the power of these brands, whatever small or big. Winning brands will be those who build on existing excellence, a future with insurgent mindset. And that's probably where the revolution of luxury will be in the coming years. You will need to rewrite the rules of the games, redefining purpose, retaining relevance for younger generation. Younger generation do not expect the same than older ones, and they want specific experiences and they want specific values, the one that I mentioned, like diversity, inclusion, sustainability, and of course, facing environmental challenges. So for me, definitely, the master of luxury management and marketing is one of the perfect engines for these future professionals. I think that was the last part. Yeah, so what does it mean? I just had made a small chart related to how I see the candidates for the Master of Luxury Management and Marketing. Definitely passionate about luxury. Luxury can be, you know, experiential, like luxury hotels. It can be personal goods like bags, and it can be multiple formats. It's not only Chanel and Dior, it can be multiple forms. These people need to be eager to accompany the luxury industry to a new level, a new era, eager to understand and service customers to create real experience. And this is one of the critical aspects of a successful luxury brand. It's how you design your experience, how you create something unique that will create your own signature. Of course, candidates definitely need to understand that details and sophistication, whatever the format of it, are very important in succeeding in the luxury industry, where you need to design these customer experiences. Understanding the change that I just mentioned is absolutely a no-brainer. It is the future of our successful leaders moving in the coming era. Positive energy, determination, enthusiasm, proactivity, obviously, and of course, enthusiastic also about sustainability and digital, which according to me are one of the two key strategic elements to drive luxury growth in the coming years. And I think that was my last chart because I didn't want to take too much time.
Thank you so much, Bernd, for your presentation. And I can see that we actually already have a couple of questions. So if you'd like, maybe we can continue with the presentation and then later on we can have a look at those.
Okay, good, excellent.
Perfect. So I'm now leaving still the floor to you, Morgane. I think you wanted to talk about the program, right? A bit more into details. And we have also the support of some slides. Should I share them as well?
If it is about the program, it was still Florence who wanted to talk about it.
Morgane, more than happy to share the screen with you. Huh?
Let's share the floor. Perfect.
So, Morgane, you want to take over or do you want me to?
I think it is better if you still speak about the program and I will answer. I think there are already questions about the admissions process and I think I will detail this.
Okay, so on the admission side, I will leave it to you. On the program description, well, Michel Fan is the program director and he has been there for more than 9 years and has built one of the most famous luxury programs, I think, existing. And there are some competitors, obviously, but really, I think the Master in Luxury Management and Marketing of emlyon is really extremely well appreciated by LVMH, Hermes, Chanel, etc., you name it, because they consider that we are really accompanying the future leaders in setting up their skills. So maybe as a summary, if Federica can move to the next page. Thank you, Federica, sorry to ask. So the master is of a duration of 16 months. The location is absolutely amazing. And I'm very jealous of the candidates that are joining our program because the first quarter from September to December, they go to Paris. Then there is the choice to be between London with the London College of Fashion, which is one of the most famous schools in London for luxury and fashion, or the Parsons School of Design in New York, which is also extremely graded, you know, as a fantastic reputation, or the Luis Business School in Roma. So that's for the quarter 2 from Jan to March. And then you move from April to June in Shanghai in the emlyon platform. The course is split between 120 ECTS credits, 90 being dedicated to courses, and 30 to the master dissertation that candidates need to write at the end of their experience in order to get the final credit for this. So we offer more than 700 contact hours, as we should. Everything is taught in English, obviously. Of course, as I mentioned, our prestigious academic partners share the same level of ambition and excellence than the one we have at emlyon. And that's also why we have selected them very cautiously. And we are generally getting fantastic feedback from the students wherever they go, according to their profile and to their ambitions. I've never heard anybody saying that it was very disappointing up to now. The program is enrolling maximum 120 candidates. I can tell you that last year we were overwhelmed by 500 applicants and we just had 120 spots. So we really value passion, dedication, project, quality, enthusiasm, and of course, good English is an absolute no-brainer. Maybe, shall we go to the page 3, please? Thank you. So I've already described it. So that's the description of what I already mentioned. You have the 3 terms as they are split, and then after you do Shanghai, you have to enter into an internship, generally from July to December, anywhere in the world, but absolutely focused on a luxury mission, and this is validated by us. The internship at least needs to be 4 months long, but it can be up to 6 months. And after this, you have to present in front of a jury a master dissertation, which is a report of 60 pages with an oral defense of 20 minutes, where you explain the topic that you have chosen and that we have also validated, which is generally extremely linked to the internship, but can also be another topic. Thank you for going to page 4. Thank you. So you have here in front of you an overview of the program contents of the first quarter, so September, December. Can we move back to page 4, please? Thank you. So you have corporate social responsibility sessions, prototyping also with what we call our Makers Lab, where we teach you crazy skills that you would not even imagine before. Last year, our students did a drone, you know, each of them. So that was a fantastic learning, and they really appreciated it a lot. Of course, you have introduction to finance, you have research methodology.
I'm just going to stop 1 second the share screen just to make sure I put it in the full screen. Meanwhile, you can still...
Okay, so I mean, you have also Chinese lessons, because we want you to have a minimum base of acquisition of Chinese language. For the Chinese people that are joining, because I forgot to mention, but we have this year 42 nationalities in the master, which means that we have people from China, from the US, from France, from Italy, from Spain, from Taiwan, from anywhere in the world, from Lebanon. So of course, it's a fantastic opportunity to be with multiple nationalities from all around the world, sharing the same passion for luxury and the same ambition. So it's also a great opportunity to create fantastic network and interface with people that are from all around the world. So it's a fantastic human experience, I would say. We have lost the presentation, Federica.
Okay, now it should be back. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
If we can move back to the content, that would be very helpful.
Perfect.
For me. Thank you. So of course you have also sourcing and supply chain management teaching. You have digital transformation, which is a fantastic course with a great personality coming from Vuitton that is bringing the students into great digital project in real. This year they did digital transformation for LVMH companies. So it's really extremely appreciated. Of course, we give you also fundamentals of legal, teaching you consumer lifestyle, cross-cultural management. You have also a very important project, which is giving you 6 credits, which is called Transforming Early Makers. So you are split into groups of 6 students, and each group has to design a company related to the luxury industry and to create it from scratch, creating the activity, the P&L, the organization, the marketing strategy, the HR strategy. Any elements has to be defined and presented in front of a jury. And I can tell you it's an experience that all our students appreciate because they learn a tremendous amount of. And so that's for them a very important aspect of the first quarter. Then the rest I already mentioned, that you have Mandarin lessons for, let's say, people that are not speaking Mandarin. And of course, for Chinese people or people that are already able to speak in Mandarin, we also offer French beginner lessons and intermediate. So that was the program of the first quarter. Then if we move to the next page, we should have the second one. So here, as you remember, you have options, and this is of course validated by us before you go, according to your profile and your ambitions. But in New York, you have theorizing luxury with a great person who is called David Brody. You have a lesson around sustainable business models, and you have also a new design firms, which is extremely interesting if you're into the design of, you know, events. Luxury is not only designing shoes, it's also events, activities around marketing, all the things that are extremely important that New York person is able to teach you. On the London track, which is an amazing school also, you study fashion. You can also study how to start your own fashion label. You study visual merchandising for fashion, innovation in fashion, and the London brand, because of course, London is a unique place in the world when it comes to fashion and fashion history. And then you have Louis, so it's in Rome. And there you have organization and people management in luxury firms, branding, supply chain. You do some tours of fashion brands, business models in luxury industries, management, obviously, luxury market and key players, brand strategy, consumer behavior. So you have plenty of experts that are teaching you and sharing with you their experience. So that's the quarter 2. And then you move to the quarter 3, which takes place in Shanghai. So here we teach you Asian business environment with people that are living in Shanghai, that understand fully the Asian business world. And that's a very important part of the teaching of Shanghai. You have also experts in luxury brand management, luxury retail directly taught by Michel Fan, business negotiation, which is also important, as well as supplier relationship and risk management. And you also have digital marketing for luxury, more focused on the Asian way. And there is a very important project called In-Company Consulting Project that we call in our jargon ICP. That's a group of 6 people, of 6 students, will have to find in Shanghai a company around the luxury industry who is seeking for some consulting mode. So you will become consultant 3 months consecutive in order to elaborate a recommendation around a specific topic in a luxury company, be it Guerlain China or Chanel China or smaller companies that are also into the luxury business in Asia. And you will become their consulting team, able to give them some recommendation at the end of the 3 months. That's a really important aspect also of this Shanghai quarter. And of course, we continue all throughout the year with Chinese beginners lesson or French for the ones that are not speaking French, but are speaking Mandarin. So that's giving you a good overview of the 3 quarters. Then you enter into the master dissertation, so which is linked generally to the internship that you do after the Shanghai session is over. So we have some topics like how to create a new luxury brand. I can tell you that this year I am coaching some students around their master dissertation, which is to create their own luxury brand. So that's a really great opportunity to create your own luxury brand and be accompanied by all the experts, the learning hub access, all the elements that we can support in order to give you the knowledge and the time to focus on your own brand. Examination, we have also studies around the impact of new consumers on the luxury demand, like the Gen Z or millennials that I mentioned already earlier. The examination of the impact of sustainability, obviously a very important aspect of the future industry of luxury, no doubt. Examination of Chinese luxury consumer behaviors towards social media or online shopping. They are quite interesting master dissertation coming from Chinese people that are focusing on the behavior of their Chinese families and so on, looking at the way they behave towards social media, and probably that considering that China is the #1 market moving forward for luxury goods, that's a very important topic. Of course, you understood that the program gives you unique advantages that you are not going to find anywhere else. You have the unique opportunity to study in 3 major luxury capitals. And it's not a learning trip. It's really, you stay 3 months in Rome or 3 months in London or 3 months in New York. And then you move to 3 months in Shanghai after having been 3 months in Paris. So you will meet, of course, excellent academic teachers in EM Lyon that are extremely well known and with a high level of quality and reputation. But you will also meet people of my profile that are professionals from the luxury business, understanding perfectly well what is happening behind the brands, what is the way LVMH is working, and that's also a very good understanding for the future students. And of course, EM Lyon is a very big signature in the world of education and academic, and it is recognized among luxury recruiters. I can tell you, I spoke with a student yesterday, and she was looking for an internship for July, and she told me that she was extremely often solicited by a lot of LVMH companies, and she said, I can see that EM Lyon is really loved by LVMH because really I get a lot of offers and I get a lot of solicitations from all these groups. And we have a team dedicated to organizing events with these recruiters. So recently there was LVMH Day. We also had Chanel coming to visit us, even if it's by Zoom or physically, according to the context. We have also Hermes that came to see and meet our students. So you can see that all the big brands are really appreciative of the quality of the program. Maybe the next page. So we have some competitors, indirect or direct, but I would say that it's Schema, Neoma, Institut Français de la Mode, Sub de Luxe. We also have out of France, we have Monaco, Le Politecnico di Milano, Bocconi, Glion, Louis. But the one sending you to multiple destinations in the world, I have not yet found them with such quality. And then I think that we are reaching the end of my presentation. Of course, job opportunities, product management. Some people, we have one student from the last year promotion that joined McKinsey in Switzerland to become a consultant in the luxury industry. Communication, PR, events management. We have a lot of people joining either big companies, either big communication group on the luxury business. Retail and sales management, definitely that's a great opportunity for you if you are interested in careers in retail. Supply chain, HR. We also have lawyers that are joining the master because they want to become experts in the luxury industry after they graduate from the law school. So they have acquired a good expertise and understanding of what luxury stands for. So they are really able to combine their law skills with the luxury industry. So that's also something that we get quite frequently. And we have students coming from multiple horizons. It's not only a marketing approach, it is definitely a selection of personality, talented, speaking fluently English, and able to adapt to multiple contexts with a strong motivation on luxury. And some have the ambition to create their own brands. So that's really something that we see a lot also. Okay, we've put some alumni, just a reference. Of course, you can contact these people if you are interested. And then, of course, I had put at the next page some elements around London College of Fashion, which was considered a few days ago as the #2 best business graduate courses within fashion institution. I must say that this is an amazing place if you are interested in fashion and if you want to design your own fashion brand. And I think the next page is related to the New York Parsons School of Design. If you're more interested in designing events, design doesn't mean drawings. We are not teaching you how to become an expert Karl Lagerfeld of the future at all. That's not at all our destination, but we can help you understand how to design an event, how to organize something unique in the luxury industry, how to think differently, and how to think out of the box. So definitely New York School Parsons is excellent if you are into the design, let's say. And of course, it is also ranked in the fashion schools. As you can see, both of them are absolutely unique in terms of ranking. And I think it's the last page of my presentation, apart from Luis, obviously. The scientific committee, if you can see, Pietro Beccari is the CEO of Christian Dior Couture. You have Mr. Ferruccio Ferragamo in the scientific committee. You have people that are extremely talented coming from the luxury industry, Valentino, etc., etc. And look at the school. I mean, just the school is a unique place in Rome. And we had some students still studying in Luis that will end. They will end this week their study, the quarter, and they were saying us that it was an amazing room. The room that you see in picture here was absolutely breathtaking, and that they enjoyed a lot because they had the opportunity to be physically in front of their teachers when COVID allowed it in the recent weeks. And I think that I have spoken. Targeted student profile, baccalaureate, +4, +5, and +3.
And I can take the lead about this afterwards. And I see that we only have 15 minutes left and a lot of questions.
Okay, I'm sorry, I spoke too much.
Thank you very much. I didn't want to interrupt you. Maybe
you should.
Let me know if you still want me to share the presentation, if there is some other aspect, or maybe we can just move on into the Q&A part.
I think we will, maybe we will try to answer all the questions. I will just present myself very quickly.
Absolutely.
Because I did not have the chance. So I'm Morgane Nielsen from emlyon Business School. I'm program advisor for this program, and I am your direct contact if you are interested in applying to this program. I can guide you through the whole application process until maybe, or if you are lucky enough to be admitted, until you get a part of the program. I see the last question, entry test.
Yes,
okay, I will try to answer very quickly a few questions that I could see.
Absolutely.
Somebody, Lea Baraves, asked if, said, I'm currently studying science with a bit of marketing. I want to apply for the master. Is it possible for me to apply for it, even if I have a science degree? Yes. So this is the part that Florence showed in the last part of the presentation. We ask for ideally a 4-year bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and we can accept a limited amount of students who have a 3-year bachelor's degree. And this degree can be in any field. So yes, you can absolutely apply. Then I could see another, I have to find it again.
If you want, we can go through some of them.
Yes, because I saw another related question. If it is too late to apply. So no, it's not too late to apply. We have several application sessions. So we already have finished the 3rd one, and we are currently in the 4th application session, which ends on April 12th. So you have plenty of time to finish your online application. And then maybe I can present to you the application process very quickly. So you just have to start your application by creating an account on the website of emlyon. And then there are some documents that you have to submit. And once you have uploaded all your documents and submitted your application, you will get the access for doing emlyon's digital tests. So I think there was another question related to it, if there's any test or entry test.
Yes.
Yes, these are the tests. So you will get the access within 3 days after submitting your application, and then you will have 3 days to do these tests at any time. You just have to make sure that once you start the tests, you can finish them all at once, because you kind of pause them. And they are split in several parts. So the first parts put you in a professional context. It's like a role play with an avatar. The first exercise are incoming messages from your co-workers. You're mostly a project manager. And the second exercise are interactive interviews or meetings with your co-workers. And in these 2 exercises, your co-workers will ask you questions or make you suggestions, and you have several answers that are presented to you. And you have to pick the answer that you think fits the best, depending on the context. So there's no really right or wrong. It's more about your way to react in a professional situation. Then there are a few logic tests, so dominoes and balls. It's pure logic, and it's the only part that is numbered with a score. Then you will have 20 multiple choice questions about the luxury industry. So it's about getting maybe your degree of knowledge about the luxury industry, the main groups, the main activities, the professional trends, etc. And then there are some written and some film motivation questions. The film motivation questions are a very important part of the application, because it's really the only part where you can really present yourself, show your personality, and you can prepare this just like a job interview or just like a recruitment interview. So it's about getting to know you. The only difference is just that you're not in front of a real person, you're in front of your camera, and there are some questions written on the screen, and you have a limited time to read each question and to answer it. And yeah, it's about getting to know you, your interest in this program, why you want to apply to this program. So the most important part is maybe to just stay natural and focus about the reasons why you want to be part of this program.
Thank you. We have a couple of questions about, first of all, when does the program start? When is the deadline to apply if someone wants to enroll this year? And finally, about internship, if somehow emlyon is helping students to find internship.
Okay, so the program starts on September 13th in Paris. The deadline for the application is not defined, because there are several application sessions until August even, but August, of course, is very late, because even for you, because you would know from one day to another where you if you will join the program or not. And it's always depending on the places remaining in the cohort. So the places are limited, and it happens every year that we do not open the last application sessions. So if you are ready, as soon as you're ready, it's better to apply, because the risk would be that we close the application sessions.
Perfect. And about the internship, so basically they're asking what is the process, if somehow emlyon is helping students to find internship while they're studying, if you have a career service maybe.
Yes, we have the Career Service Center that will help the students by, of course, writing their CV, preparing motivation letters, preparing job interviews, but also how they can organize their research depending on what they want to do. I think from what I hear from the students, maybe Florence can correct me if I'm wrong, is that the best is also to use every meeting, every contact with the professionals that they will be in contact with during the program, to just start the network and maybe take the opportunity even for the internship.
Thank you. We have few questions about the same topic, so I'm just going to ask you. The asking is, because of the COVID situation, you think that the program will change somehow in terms of like traveling, or if you think maybe if it could be online, or if there still be allowed to travel? I think the travel part was the very perks of this program.
Do you prefer to answer this question? I can answer this question also.
Morgan, please.
And you can complete the information because I'm answering this question a lot because of course every student is asking this question. So of course we cannot predict the situation in 1 year. It's impossible. I think no school on earth can do this. There are several options. Of course, the best option would be that in January 2022, which is in almost 1 year, the students will be able to travel. This is really what we hope for. If it is, of course, something that we cannot control. Of course, if the government of the countries close the borders, for example, for foreign students, or if there's a lockdown, or if it is impossible for the students to join the campus, we cannot force the law. So of course the courses would have to be online, like I think for everybody. So this is not something we can control. It is the same for Shanghai, but I think even being very pessimistic, April 2022, I think we can really hope for sending the students to Shanghai, of course. Concerning the semester in Paris, which is still this year, so I think we have to be very careful about the measures and what we promise, because of course nobody can promise anything. There are several options. Either there's the worst case scenario is there's a lockdown and the campuses are closed, then the courses of course would have to be online. I think the only reassuring thing is that we now have a very long experience of online courses, so it should be better and better. The other option is of course that, and it is quite possible that this could be the scenario this year, is that we can open the campus with a limited amount of students. And in this case, of course, we would not close the campus. We would still offer the opportunity for some students, maybe either like last year, to come on campus for group works and have lectures online, or to be maybe on campus 1 week and not the other one, etc. So that we can limit the amount of students on campus, but still offer them the opportunity to meet each other, because of course we know that all the students want to have physical courses if it's possible, and to meet each other and have group works and all this experience. So there are mixed options, of course. And of course, the best case scenario would be that everything gets back to normal. But I think it's important to be careful maybe for the first trimester in Paris. But we can, of course, hope for a better situation starting from January. And then we will follow the evolution of the pandemic like everybody else.
Thank you, Morgan. We have a question for Florence about what are the most important things that we need to consider when building our own luxury brand?
Well, I think it's a difficult question that I'm not going to develop now, but I think that the first element, the most important, is to make sure that you work on the DNA of your brand with a proper approach of how to build the DNA. It has to be consistent. And I would say that all the wording that I used in my page 1, heritage, storytelling, etc., you need to tick all the boxes. But in a nutshell, that's what I'm going to say, because I know that Morgan has probably millions of questions to answer. I don't want to take too much time.
No, thank you. I can see that Morgan wanted to answer a question about candidates graduating from Maastricht University, 3 years
Yes.
economics.
Yes, if you have a 3 years bachelor's degree, you can apply and you would fall into the 30%. It's not a cohort, like it's not a separated cohort. It's just that the number of students who have a 3 years bachelor's degree are limited to a maximum of 30% of the cohort, but it's the same.
Perfect, thank you. Another question, I think this is very interesting. Gabrielle is asking us, she would like to know what is an element that makes an applicant stand out in the admission process?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What is the element that makes a candidate stands out in the admission process?
Oh, I think Florence is...
So it's a lot of elements. You know, we take a lot of time to review each file, and it's taking us hours and hours, I can assure you. So it's, of course, the motivation. If there is a project or an ambition around luxury, the English is an absolutely no-brainer. We have candidates that are not able to have any proper sentence in English, and in that case, it's total impossible to accept them, whatever their qualities. So that's something that you need to have in your mind. And then it's a matter of, we're not selecting experts in luxury. You might not be able to answer some of the questions we are asking, but we are looking at the way you answer, the way you behave, the attitude, the charisma, the ambition, the passion, the energy. So it's a mixture. There is no, secret recipe, but you have to be yourself. You have to be convincing us that giving you the opportunity to join this amazing master will be positive for you and for a future employer. We always look at the employability of your profile.
Thank you. Few questions about scholarship. They're asking us if there is any scholarships opportunity, and if so, how to apply for those.
Yes, so emlyon offers 3 different types of scholarships. The first one is the early bird scholarship. So this is during the first 2 sessions when you apply. So now it's passed for the next intake. So if you want to apply for the intake 2021, it's too late. And if you want to apply for the intake 2022, you can keep this in mind. It's mostly the first 2 application sessions start. They are in November. The first one is in November, the second one in December. And then we have the individual scholarship, which it is when you apply, you can fill out a scholarship request form, and this scholarship can be granted for very good profiles according to the whole application form. The admission board will look at the financial needs, the diversity of the cohort, and the excellence of the profile. And this scholarship can vary between 5% and 40%. And then we have the excellence scholarship. So I can answer another questions with this. So the GMAT is not necessary to apply. But if you can ask for an excellent scholarship, so you can provide a GMAT test score. If you have a GMAT test score of 650 or more, you have 10% off, and a GMAT test score of 700 or more, you have 15% off, and this can come in addition to the individual scholarship. And what is important to know is that you can apply, for example, if you don't have a GMAT test already now, you can already apply for the session on April 12th and provide your GMAT until summer 2021 to ask for or you don't even have to ask for the excellent. This is automatic.
Perfect. Also, some of the question they're asking us about what's the difference between this program and high-end brand management? If you're aware of any sort of main difference among the program.
I mean, I don't know, maybe, do you want to answer this one, Florence? I think it's the MSc in Luxury Management and Marketing is much more focused on really luxury brands, but I don't know, maybe do you have?
I don't have a good, I'm
Okay.
not sure that I know perfectly well the high-end brand management program.
Yeah.
What I think is that there is no same type of offers in terms of international destinations. And I think the program varies. So, but I'm not an expert, so I don't want to develop something that I'm not really aware
I mean, the high-end brand management program has 2 trimesters in Shanghai and 1 in France. And I think it's way less focused on luxury brands and not at all on fashion, for example.
Okay, that's great. And I'm sure on the website they can also find some extra information.
Absolutely, or contact me for a more specific answer. Yeah.
There is also a question they're asking us if you help students to navigate housing when moving from country to country, if there is some sort of assistance with this.
I mean, the housing it's up on the student to find the housing, but once they're enrolled, there's also the international office of emlyon that can help them and provide them a list of private and professional contacts. And I know that because every year the students have to move to these cities, so they can give a lot of tips each other from one year to another. And I also know, I mean, the current cohort, which is where there are already quite a few students, they're already organizing or exchanging about flat sharing, for example, for Paris. So I think it's a lot of, about exchanging with the other students and using the contacts from emlyon.
We have 2 questions from Natalia. So we said it before, but maybe it's good to repeat. She asking if she needs a background in luxury in order to be part of the program. And another question, which also can maybe help Eliane as well, in case someone wants to start in 2022, when is the best time to apply? And is there a way to save my spot for next year?
So for the last question, the best time to apply is now, because it is already the 4th round of application sessions. So I think maybe the next one, it's quite sure that there still be some places remaining in the court, but for the last one, I wouldn't be that sure. So I think now's the best time.
If you want to start in 2022, you should apply next year, because we cannot commit to postponing your assignments.
Yes.
It's impossible. The program is overwhelmed by so many requests that we cannot have people that are waiting 1 year.
For 2022, the applications start in November of this year. And I think, I mean, the good thing with this is that you have the early bird scholarship. And yes, if you want to ask for a deferral, it's very complicated because you have to enroll first, and it's mostly granted for really students who don't have the choice. For example, I don't know, a sudden change of the situation they could not predict when they applied.
Perfect. Matteo is asking us if we can repeat how the test is structured, because unfortunately we lost the connection while we were talking about it.
The test is structured with first situations that put you in a professional context in form of a role play, then some logic tests, then multiple choice questions about the luxury industry, and written motivation questions and film motivation questions that you can prepare like a job interview.
Amazing. Gabriella is asking if she needs some work experience in order to apply. If work experience is considered.
Well, if you have demonstrated passion for luxury via, I don't know, a retail experience in Chanel or in Guerlain or whatever, of course, it's a plus to justify your motivation. But once again, as I told you, we have some people that are graduated from law, so they never went into Chanel or into any private luxury brand. But we are considering all profiles because we want diversity, and what we want is to give you a perfect understanding of a luxury industry wherever your destination is, be it supply chain, marketing, management, creation of your own brand, etc. It can be, we have people that are coming from Lyon or Lausanne, you know, coming from the hospitality, that are really eager to follow another additional path on luxury by joining our master. And we don't need you to have a professional experience to accept you in the program.
Perfect. We have a question from Rian. He's asking if you have students that join the luxury car industry. So we talked about fashion. What about the luxury car industry?
I can tell you, we organized 1 month ago, we had one of our students from, I think, 3 years ago that joined Lamborghini, and she was doing a conference to all the students explaining her experience and what she did. So it's not only the car industry that we cover, but yes, we have some people that are interested into it. And we have also people that are entering the automobile car luxury industry after they graduate from the MSc. They will not design engines and they will not design technology, obviously. I want that to be really clear, but they can contribute in all the aspects of luxury branding, retail, etc., etc.
Perfect, that's great. So they're asking about certification of English. We said yes, maybe we can remind this if it's needed. And then how could I get prepared for the entry test if someone has English literature domain? So if English is my first language.
You don't need an English test to apply. I mean, the whole digital tests are in English. So this is a good way to test your English, and there are some written, some film motivation questions. So you will have the opportunity to prove your English level during the digital test.
Yeah, absolutely. We look at your English when you write the answers to the question, and when you stand in front of the video to demonstrate your passion towards luxury. So that's enough for us. If we do not face any issue by understanding you, it's okay.
Perfect. Well, I think we answered the majority of the question that we received, and I wanted to ask Morgan and Florence if they wanted to say like something else to all the people that we have connected with. I mean, we did cover a lot about the program and the opportunities. But if you feel that there is something else that you want to share, I also wanted to remind the people that are connected that we will be sending you an email after this webinar. You will have all the contact details so you can get in contact, and so you can reach if you want further information, and we're more than happy to receive. So please, Morgan and Florence, if there is also, if you've seen any question that maybe we missed or anything that you feel you want to add just before closing.
Well, we just hope that we convinced you that we are passionate about what we do and that excellence and, you know, making you stand out and being extremely employable after you graduate is our obsession on a daily basis. That's what I would say. And I think that Morgan is sharing exactly the same ambition. And she's doing a fantastic job supporting all these processes that are extremely important to identify you and your motivation.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think, I hope that this presentation has made clear to you what the program is about. I think, I mean, I learned something today, so I hope it's the same for you. Yeah, I can just add that you really do not have to hesitate to contact me if you have any question that you could not ask now because the time went very quickly. And that you also, maybe if we send you an email, I will send you a link where you can book a phone appointment with me anytime, so we can exchange about some questions about the program, questions about next year and the admissions process, because I can be really by your side during the whole application process until you come on campus.
Perfect, that's great. I really want to thank Morgan and Florence for their time and for all of you for being connected and all of your questions. It's been great and it's been very informative for me as well. And I really hope that you will get in contact with Florence and Morgan, so any sort of question they will be available. And we will be sending you this email with all the details. And we look forward to seeing you soon at the next live webinar of emlyon Business School. Thanks for your time and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.